Dude, this righteous fear, man, it's different, man. It's it's provocative, man. I mean, I don't even know what that means. It gets the people going.
And his opponent, accompanied by Rob Man from Harlem, New York, weighing in at 215 pounds, GMG Big Money.
Oh, I can't wait to see this one.
These two have been waiting for this one for quite some time, and to be honest, so have I.
They ask for the truth, but they can't handle it. They want to remain stupid. If the shoe fits, let them wear it.
Salute, and welcome back to class, gang. Welcome to PM School at the Righteous Fair. How y'all doing, y'all? How y'all doing? Getting ready to wrap this week up. Tomorrow, Friday, y'all. How y'all feeling, gang? Salute to the Righteous Fair, guys. Welcome. Keep in mind, we don't cater to any groups, gangs, communities, religions, feelings, or your emotions. We gonna cater to the truth. We gonna cater to common sense, and we not gonna complicate it. As always, guys, before we get started with the class, let me pay some respects. Let me pay some bills. First, I want to thank my guy TBK, Red Carpet Ring. Y'all know him as Turnbuckle King. I want to thank him for sending me this right here. And he be sending me a lot of the good ones, the really, really good ones. So salute to him. Then next, I want to salute my guy, Charles Blue. You know what I mean? I want to salute Charles Blue for the $50 Cash App. I just got that when I got back from taking my little man to practice. Salute to you, Chuck-a-Luck. That's one of my favorite games coming from Harlem. That's one of my favorite games over there on 117th, 116th, actually. All right, guys, so tonight, y'all see it. We got HIV positive woman spills her secrets to living a normal life. This pretty much her testimony, guys, and where my detractors at, yo? Is there any man or woman still left in the class that don't like my message or don't understand my message? Cause see, one thing about my message is all connected. Cause it's not my feelings, you know what I mean? It's not my feelings. The stuff I be talking about, the stuff we go over here, be a whole fact. So when I say things like, you know what I mean, it take one to make a baby, it's a mind trick. It's a mind trick. You know what I mean? Because now I got your mind thinking. Because, like I said, everybody's so used to pinning something on somebody else, right? So everybody's so used to running around here with this victim mentality, right? When all my channel is about, for those of you that didn't know, for those of y'all that be getting me fucked up, straight up. And I was not even trying to curse on this one, so that might be the last one. But that come from the gut. For all of y'all that get it effed up, understand this channel is about personal growth. and personal accountability. That's all this channel is about. So when I say things like it take one to make a baby, that is to put the accountability on one person. If individuals start making better choices and decisions individually, we'll all be a group. We'll all be dope. We'll be a collective. You know what I mean? But y'all so trained and conditioned to pushing your choice and your decision that you want to make, you gonna get the benefit for it. You want to push that off on somebody else when it don't go to your way. When you don't get the benefit for it, you want to push the consequences off on somebody else. We all got so conditioned and trained to that. You do that and not even know you're doing that. A lot of y'all do that shit and not even know you're doing it. You know what I mean? And that's sad. You gotta stop that, bro. You gotta stop that. You know what I mean? But yeah. So when I say things like you gotta, you know what I mean, take one to make a baby, that's to get you to take some personal accountability. Because now let's take that template, right? And how me saying it take one to make a baby, that's just to get, let's say you're a woman. That's just to get you to be personally accountable for your fish hole. Don't you think that's your best interest? Wouldn't you think that's what you want to do? Be personally accountable for, right? Because it's on you. The fish hole is on you. Let's take a guy, for example. I'm a guy, right? So I want to be accountable for my pee. I want to be held accountable. I'm going to make sure my pee don't go nowhere. Know what I mean? I ain't gonna blame it on nobody. If my PP end up in another female mouth, that ain't that female mouth. You know what I mean? I'ma be accountable for my PP. You feel me? And when we get to topics like this, right? It it pop it all the way off. It pop it because you see how y'all so used to thinking about this baby stuff, the benefit, the things that benefit y'all. I'm talking to my sisters that care. My sisters that want better results. Again, I'm not asking no bald head roach to come in here and stay in here, click through my thumbnail and stay in my thumbnail, or even waste enough time, waste time, and then put some stupid shit in my chat. I ain't asking. I don't beg y'all to do that. Like that's you. So again, I'm talking to my sisters with sense, my sisters that want to stop making the same mistakes that so many women before you have continued to make by thinking it take two to make a baby. It take you, sis. And when you catch the monster, like what we're about to go over today, that tops off, that trumps my idea of why you are responsible for your fish hole. Because now, whoever gave her HIV, right, she could blame them all she want. But because she wasn't responsible for her fish hole, she didn't take any what? Personal accountability for her fish hole. She still got it. She still got the monster. So you see, sisters, this is why, and I'm an unorthodox type of content creator. It's unorthodox. It ain't the truth not gonna feel good when you've been told lies your whole life. Understand that. But you gotta find a way to get past the trigger. Trigger is pain. Pain is weakness leaving your body. When you hit that gym and you do a real good workout, not just sit there and look at all the sweatpants. You know what I mean? When you really work out, sis, in that gym, you be sore than a mother. But that's weakness leaving your body. Same as trigger. When my information hits your brain, my sister, it's gonna trigger you. Your brain ain't never heard nothing like that. Your brain, you didn't push up. You ain't do no push-ups on your brain. So when my information hits your brain, sis, that's like a push-up. That's like your brain doing a whole push-up, a pull-up, a crunch. It's gonna be sore, but you're gonna be much stronger after that. You're gonna be way stronger after that. This is absurd right here, y'all. Any female that's running around here with anything, I don't care if it's not the monster. If you got anything in your fish hole that don't belong there, that is your fault, man. Somebody taught you wrong. Somebody misguided you. And I told y'all cannot go into this days when the PP come out. Because for some weird reason, these women get dumbified once the PP come out, bro. These be the same women that have run on social media talk about how little the PP was. But the PP got her to take the rubber off every single time, right? Now all of a sudden the PP little. Y'all gotta stop that, yo. Ladies, y'all gotta stop that. But let's get on into it, man. Let's get on with the show. Remember, don't be mad at me, man. All I know is how to tell the truth. You know what I mean? And we ain't do no reading over here in a while, too. So y'all ain't slick. Y'all ain't getting over, man. Y'all ain't getting over. Let's do some reading, yo. Let's see what the Bible say about this disease, this monster, because this is y'all know, like, come on. Y'all know what this is about. This monster is here to control those who want to be sexually immoral. You know what I mean? Those who want to be sexually immoral, and I don't care how sneaky you think you are. I don't care how slick you think you are, how nice you dress, how smooth you talk. If you are indulging in this sexual morality, you are highly probable of catching it. One of them, all of them. Understand, that's why that thing was put here. Our God, he not coming back, guys. He already here. He in all of us, and he waiting for us to tap into him. He ain't coming back. He got every single thing here on earth, in place, doing what it do for everybody that want to indulge and go the other way from him. Trust and believe. He got something for everybody. Though it's the seven deadly sins, guys. The seven deadly sins is his way to make things right. So this is why you focus on yourself, mind your business, and make sure you put him first. You know what I'm talking about? Focus on yourself, mind your business. Let those who want to indulge with the seven deadly sins, because there's seven of them, and they indulge in them every single day. You know, the sexual immoral, they got this disease. They got these diseases. They gonna catch these diseases. Word to my mother, I only met one, and I mean one, and this nigga is a super simp. I mean, sorry, he a super pimp. A super pimp. I only met one super pimp that like healthy as a motherfucker. This man, listen, when he he should if he should be the he should be on the route he should be on the Mount Rushmore of pimps right there with Iceberg Slim and a couple of the only two more. Him, Iceberg Slim, and y'all know this shit more than y'all know the game more, the ism more than I do. But this man, other than him, every single pimp, every single prostitute I know, they died, y'all, from that shit. They died from that shit, bro. Every single one of them, bro. And I'm out. I'll be out there. I was out there. I've been in Harlem, Bronx, Brooklyn. I ain't never met one except for my super pimp, man. My super pimp, he the only one. But everything is set in place. You know what I mean? The people with a greedy heart, they got gluttony. This is why obesity is so high. That's sinful. We sit here and dress it up. Oh, he body shaming. You ain't got to worry about me body shaming. Wait till you get to that gate, boy. He gonna make you feel like shit. For some reason, you run around here and y'all make our God out to be some punk. Y'all make our God out to be some real punk when he really, really, really that dude. Like he is really that dude. But y'all sit here and let these punk suckers, these jive turkeys that go in them churches and get manipulated, come out the churches and try to have y'all try to sensify y'all with this bullshit, bruh. If you doing funny drink, some funny shit gonna happen to you, bro. And he got it all here. He ain't coming back. He ain't coming back. They already here. It's already here. Gluttony, greedy heart, sexual morale. They all here, guys. Know what I mean, let's see what he said about it though, man. Let's. All right, 1 Chronicles. Hold on. Let me move that comment real quick, KDH. Salute. Thank you, TBK. Toxic Rain Scandals for the membership, for becoming a member for another 4 months. Appreciate you, bro. You already know. 10 through 13. So Sheol died for his breach of faith. He broke faith with the Lord in that he did not keep the command of the Lord, and also consulted a median seeking guidance. So I hope you ain't one of those people that run the social media, like social media your therapist or social media your guidance counselor. You could go to God before you run to anybody. This is why. And guys, y'all heard the word she-ho. Y'all not bugging me. Y'all heard the word she-ho. Because those of you that read Proverbs 7, you know that is the way to she-ho. Let's go to that, y'all. Let's go to that. Since we cooking tonight and we teaching and we been running, we ain't been doing no reading, y'all. Y'all know we ain't been doing no reading. But let's talk about She-Ho, guys. And let's talk about why you gotta make tile. You have to make tile. You got to go the other way from the ways of the world. You gotta find out who you are. You got to find your true identity. This is why, in order to reinvent yourself, the first thing on the list is clean your environment. Sometimes you're not going to be able to change your environment, but you could change your environment if you leave it. If you go the other way from your environment, you have changed your environment.
My son, keep my words and treasure up my commandments with you. Keep my commandments and live. Keep my teaching as the apple of your eye. Bind them on your fingers, write them on the tablet of your heart. Say to wisdom.
Bro, do you know what he just said right there? Our creator, our father, just told us how real, how deep the information, the stuff we go over here. I don't care what they do on them other channels, bro. Man, listen, I don't give a, how Smokey said, I don't give a word, boy. We gonna be real here. We gonna tell the truth here. If you really want work, if you really want to fix and help yourself and grow, then you at the right spot. But you heard, that's how serious he wants you to take his words, because these are not my words. Remember, I don't want you to listen to me. I'm giving you what I listen to. You know what I mean? I'm giving you what I listen to get the results I got. I believe in him, so I'm telling you believe in him. You don't believe in me.
My son, keep my words and treasure up my commandments with you. Keep my commandments and live. Keep my teaching as the apple of your eye. Bind them on your fingers, write them on the tablet of your heart. Say to wisdom, you are my sister, and call insight your intimate friend, to keep you from the forbidden woman, from the adulteress with her smooth words. For at the window of my house I have looked out through my lattice, and I have seen among the simple, I have perceived among the youths, a young man lacking sense, passing along the street near her corner, taking the road to her house in the twilight and the evening, at the time of night and darkness. And behold, the woman meets him, dressed as a prostitute, wily of heart. She is loud and wayward, her feet do not stay at home. Now in the street, now in the market, and at every corner she lies in wait. She seizes him and kisses him, and with bold face she says to him, I had to offer sacrifices, and today I have paid my vows. So now I have come out to meet you, to seek you eagerly, and I have found you. I have spread my couch with coverings, colored linens from Egyptian linen. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, let us take our fill of love till morning. Let us delight ourselves with love. For my husband is not at home. He is gone on a long journey. He took a bag of money with him. At full moon he will come home. With much seductive speech she persuades him. With her smooth talk she compels him. All at once he follows her, as an ox goes to the slaughter, or as a stag is caught fast till an arrow pierces its liver. as a bird rushes into a snare. He does not know that it will cost him his life. And now, O sons, listen to me, and be attentive to the words of my mouth. Let not your heart turn aside to her ways. Do not stray into her paths, for many a victim has she laid low, and all her slain are a mighty throng. Her house is the way to Sheol, going down to the chambers of death.
You heard him. Her house is the way to Sheol. And that's what he's saying right here. So Saul died for his breach of faith. He broke faith with the Lord in that he did not keep the commands of the Lord. Those things, those sacred writings that we were supposed to be taught. Our parents were supposed to teach us this. This is what our parents was supposed to teach us day and night. This is what they were supposed to teach. They were supposed to teach us how to let social media raise us. They weren't supposed to teach us how to let the school raise us up while they go be independent. No, they're supposed to teach us these things right here, guys. These are the sacred writings. We would have started off on a good foot. This is white privilege. This is the white privilege right here. With the other races, they got the head start and they seem to always be kicking our ass. This the information that they got. This the information. They had it for a long time too. Yeah. Acts 12:23. Immediately an angel of the Lord struck him down because he did not give God the glory, and he was eaten by worms and breathed his last. You see what I mean? Like, this is why I don't care. You can't shame me into not giving God the glory, bro. And I tell y'all all of the time, just because I read this book and I follow this book, please don't stick your little worldly religious titles or whatever you want to say. Don't stick none of that on me. I'm reading a book to my audience, to the people that want information, new information. Cause the shit y'all been doing, the shit y'all been running off of, it ain't been working. You know what I mean? Knock knock. Who is it? Poverty. Poverty who? Poverty everybody. With all this bum ass information. It ain't been working because it ain't this information. This the information that our parents were supposed to teach us. Guys. And too many people scared. They punkified. They scared to they scared to teach it. They scared to teach it like this. Oh, they gonna say something. No, everybody's scared of criticism. Everybody's scared of criticism. No credentials, but way too many critics, right? Everybody's scared of criticism. And who gonna talk about? Think about it. Who can say something about you but a loser, a trier, somebody doing the best that I could do. This is the best I. So what are you worried for? Criticism, come on, pay that shit and be done, man. People gonna talk regardless, guys. Ephesians 5:3. But sexual immorality and all impurity or covetousness must not even be named among you, as is proper among saints. You shall not commit adultery. Again, when you look up HIV and you trying to study HIV in the Bible, everything gonna lead, all roads gonna lead to sexual immorality, sexual immoral. You know what I mean? Everything gonna lead to that. And only you know what you do. You and God know what you do. You know what I mean? So let's get on into what this girl got to say. Let's get on into her testimony. I went a little over. I have to say, sheesh. And they come, look, I tell you, this truth, hate, lies, and HIV, it don't come with a look, bro. It don't come with a look. You can't look at a person and be like, "Oh, that's a liar." Oh, they're telling the truth. You got to you got to really study. You got to focus in. You got to take some time and research everything. Look at her. Look at her, yo. You go, you look, she cutie. Unless she got one of them funny little big up top, small at the bottom shapes, we can hit her with a doo-doo, guys.
Got a big old booty, and everybody says she's a fine booty. The booty is where the doo-doo is, boy. Put there by God, that's the garbage can. So how you get so messed up with this white boy? You think the bigger the booty, the finer it is. That's like going to Kmart. You see a big old garbage can, that's the filth. And now we can convince her she wants switching that big old booty and all of that. It ain't nothing but doo-doo in there.
Today's video will be discussing childhood sexual assault, domestic violence, substance abuse, and human trafficking. If these things are things that you are not comfortable with or are triggers for you, please keep that in mind because my story is filled with them. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, I thank you for this day. I give you the glory for this video. I pray that this video reaches its intended audience. In Jesus' name. Amen. My house.
If you didn't know, a hoe's final form is a religious woman.
That's not true. Hey, wait a minute.
Household was never really a peaceful household. My parents had a lot of issues. They had a lot of disagreements. My dad was 23 and my mom was 19, so they were very young, and they themselves never had any kind of role models when it came to relationships. Both of them.
Remember, guys, when I talk about adverse childhood experiences, that's what she going over now, guys. So you could tell she been to therapy a little bit. She been to therapy. She's going to therapy. But that's what she going to tell us about. Her childhood experience.
Didn't grow up with their fathers, and they had tumultuous relationships with their mothers. When it came to raising me, I'm the firstborn. I was pretty much a guinea pig. They tried their best with what they had at the moment, but they did end up hurting me very much. I remember my dad had gotten me a bike for my birthday, and the following season he wanted to teach me, and I got scared because we lived on the top of a hill. My dad took off the training wheels and I was petrified. He got mad that I was scared, and he got mad that I didn't want him to let go. And so instead of kind of having patience, he picked up the bicycle, threw it over his head, and like threw it across the street. And at that moment I realized that
paying your bills on time raises your credit score, right? Wrong. In fact, this is one of the 3 major...
that maybe I was different, that I had a different life than other kids, because I didn't think that learning how to ride a bicycle would be so traumatic. I really never wanted to get on a bicycle again. I think I learned in high school. Wow, I didn't think I was going to start crying this soon. Yeah, I was really scared of both my parents. I was scared of disappointing them, and I was scared of them being upset with me, because when they got upset, they got angry. So anyway, my parents argued a lot. For some reason, at this point, I'm like 4 or 5, they decide that they're going to move to Florida. But instead of us going together as a family, my mom decides that she's going to go first, and that she's going to like scope the area and find a place for us to live. Then we would all go down too. That was the first time I experienced abandonment. When we dropped off my mom, I cried so much on the way back that I threw up. Like, I did not want my mom to leave me with my dad. I did not want my mom to leave me, period. Your brain really does block out certain experiences, because I remember my mom leaving and I don't remember anything else. I don't even remember getting on the plane to move to Florida. Things get much worse. I end up getting mono. I'm hospitalized. Things are just not fun for me, and I don't feel like I really fit in. And at this point, I'm about 5 years old, and my parents are still struggling very much. My dad hits me across the face. I'm Colombian. This is very common. I would get hit in my mouth all the time as a child, because I was only 5. But this time I got slapped and I wasn't able to go to school for 2 days. So it was Thursday, Friday, and then the weekend. They kept me home and I had to stay with my dad. Like, I was literally petrified. I had like a big bruise, big black and blue.
Was you putting your mouth on something you wasn't supposed to? Like, was that discipline? Because, you know, down south, that's called corporal punishment. They can slap you in your mouth, man. Especially if you're talking back, being sassy and stuff. Yep.
My parents get caught in a cheating scandal. My dad is cheating. My mom is cheating. No one is telling the truth. My mom, I remember, she's in the bathroom folding all of my dad's clothes because she did his laundry and cutting it up. She was cutting up all of.
Yep. Now we know exactly why she got HIV in the fish hole. Now we know. Mind you, guys, keep in mind, this is not single mother raised child. She had both parents. She had both parents.
Of his clothes. At this point, my brother's already born. My brother's 3 years old, and I'm like 5, maybe turning 6. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, what's happening here? My mom changed the locks on my dad, and my dad is like banging on the door. My mom opens the door. He comes in, and within literally 5 minutes of my dad being home, they are fighting. There was blood everywhere. My mom is calling out for me like, Bianca, call the cops, Bianca, call the cops. I freeze because even though.
No, she knows she dead wrong for that. That's how you put kids in grown folks' business, yo. Don't do that. You should never put your children in grown folks' business, ladies. Nope.
They had a very abusive relationship with one another. Like, I wasn't going to call the cops to my dad. I didn't know what to do. And my brother's also watching this. My dad, like, finally snaps out of it, and he gets off of my mom. He's like, I'm sorry, you know, do what you need to do. And so she calls the cops on him, and then my dad leaves the apartment in handcuffs. That was a really big turning point for me in my life, because at that moment, I had to pick a side. There was a nasty separation. My mom didn't deserve for my dad to hit her, but my mom wasn't a saint either. My mom never took accountability. And so my mom would talk.
I'm glad you said that, sis. I am glad you knew that. I'm glad you knew that. I'm glad you knew. One more time. It just felt good hearing it from your mouth, because these mothers run around here thinking that y'all fools, though. Just because y'all tend to side with their side for their feelings, because you know your dad your dad don't need you to show that you picked his side for him to know that you only on that side because you live with her. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about, daughters and sons? But they be running around here talking crazy like if like if they won something.
Like, I'm sorry, you know, do what you need to do. And so she calls the cops on him, and then my dad leaves the apartment in handcuffs. That was a really big turning point for me in my life, because at that moment, I had to pick a side. There was a nasty separation. My mom didn't deserve for my dad to hit her, but my mom wasn't a saint either. My mom never took accountability. And so my mom would talk really bad about my dad. She would tell everyone how he beat her. This was the only time that my dad laid hands on her, by the way. I really felt like I had to choose a side. Everything that I overheard.
Key point. The only time my dad ever put, and these women will poke you and poke you and poke, and it's like, because they got it in them. They got the dysfunction in them because of what they saw. Now because she saw this between her parents, will get in a relationship, right? And poke the bear, bro. Will poke the bear because that's what her ACE read. Her adverse childhood experience read dysfunction. And shit just not gonna feel right if it's not matching what she saw. This is why they could say it all they want. Oh, we don't raise them like that. They make their own decisions. That's a lie. They make their own decisions based off of childhood experiences that was provided for them. Nasty work, yo. This girl was finished. She was doomed from start. Y'all heard her? Her words, y'all. She was doomed from the start.
My mom saying about my father and about their relationship, like, made me hate my dad and made me feel like I had to pick my mom. I basically stopped talking to my dad. I didn't want to see him. And I was only 6. My mom was 23 with 2 kids, and she just couldn't afford the rent. She honestly just needed help with us. We moved back to New York, and not to our own apartment, but to the apartment that I'm living in now. At the time that we moved in, the people that were living in this apartment were myself, my brother, my mom, my grandmother, my great-grandfather, and my great-grandmother. After we left Florida, my parents separated, I became a mute. I didn't speak for an entire year. Me becoming a mute is like foreshadowing one of the biggest struggles of my life, which is not talking about my issues. There was really no conversations that led to a collective healing. And so I just thought that I had to move past it. So shortly after we move in, my great-grandmother dies. At that point, I was quite happy living in New York because there was cousins in every floor of my building, literally from the first floor all the way to the last floor. I'm in my cousin's house and I wanted to show her a new toy.
And she not lying, because that's what I give my Latin community. El Barrio, they stick together. They know what unity is, bro. Salute the Spanish Harlem, yo. My hometown, bro. Stick together, yo. You ain't coming in there with no foolishness. You what?
Toy that I had. I come downstairs, I'm looking for my toy. My great-grandfather comes out. At this point, my great-grandfather's in his 80s. And I'm thinking that he's gonna help me because I needed to grab it. But instead of helping me to get my toy, he starts touching my private areas and I just freeze. I'm so confused. I'm like wondering if I'm dreaming because this is like my family member. Like, why is he touching me? And his hands are literally shaking because he's so old and he's like moaning in my ear. He's so close to my body. I could still smell his skin. This went on for about like 20 minutes. I am probably 7 years old. My mom was like, what took you so long? No one bothered to check on me. It was just one floor, and no one bothered to check on me. Because of him and because of what happened, I began to lose my self-worth. So I lived with him. This went on for 3 years, and it happened almost every day because my mom worked and my grandmother worked. And so there were times that I was home alone just with him, and he would help himself to me for hours. That's really weird because after some time, like I got used to it. There were parts of me that were activated far too early, far too young. The communication that my mind was having to the experiences that my body was having was not a healthy one. It was a very confusing one.
I told y'all before they meet they first dude out there in the street, they be already damaged, Joe. Didn't I tell y'all that, bro? They just don't know how to address all of this. What female you know without the monster gonna sit there and really be able to be honest, be real with herself, and address this and not sit there and take the easy route and blame everybody in her future? That's the problem. That's what's going on right now.
I became very depressed. Not only was it that he was molesting me and raping parts of my body, I lived in poverty as well. He was so old that I had keys to the house, so I would like try to be so quiet as a mouse. And I would come inside I don't even know why I'm whispering, but I would come inside the apartment and I would run to my grandmother's bedroom because all 4 of us lived in one little tiny bedroom, and he had this room that I'm in now. I don't know if I've processed that I'm living in the room that I was molested and raped in. Like, I haven't really processed that. I don't know how to. I would run to my grandmother's room and I would hide underneath the bed. It was infested with roaches. I was literally hiding for hours, like sometimes 2.5 hours before someone came home. I would hear the floors creaking and him looking for me, just silent. This is me in 2nd or 3rd grade, when I should be doing my homework. I'm here like just hiding. At this time as well, my grandmother introduces me to witchcraft. My grandmother went to like witch doctors a lot. So she would do a lot of, let's say,
Exactly. That's that Santa Maria stuff that they be doing. And that's that new. I'm telling you, these Spanish women they ain't right, bro. Y'all be loving them Latin mamacitas. Y'all be loving them mamacitas. Oh, y'all stay trying to trying to use a pineapple, a spicy pineapple margarita to get a black woman jealous, bro. And they just as foolish. Out here there is in New York. Don't come to New York thinking you gonna find one of these what? A foreign woman in New York? Never. No. What's that? A foreign woman in New York? A foreign woman ain't foreign in New York, bro. What?
Satanic rituals. She would pass like eggs over me, and she would have like coconuts in the room. She would give me demonic baths. I came into agreement with so many things that I didn't even know about, that maybe I'm still not even aware.
Bro, she talking about her grandmother now, bro. Y'all hear me? She said her grandmother, so this deep rooted in generations. But y'all be ready to stick y'all PP in anything. Y'all know there's demonic transfers during the SEX, right? You know what I mean? Those spiritual ties right there. You know what I mean? Soul ties be connected. Like, and you hear her. She only telling us this. She only being honest because she got that monster. She got that heebie-jeebie. If she ain't have that heebie-jeebie, she have these skeletons in the closet just like the rest of them running around here with all types of skeletons in their closet. And they need to pay somebody to sit down on their couch and address that so they can stop blaming everybody that ain't got nothing to do with those. We didn't do that to you, sis. That's your mother. That's your mother. A lack of protection. She brought you into this world. It was her body, her choice. And your dad, that's her boyfriend. Let's remove the titles now. Let's be logical. All your father is your mother's boyfriend. That's who she chose to be her boyfriend. Like, what happened?
About. That was actually the first time that I prayed to God. I grew up Catholic, so I didn't know of a God that I could communicate to. One day that I was hiding under the bed, I asked God, do you love me? Have you forgotten about me? If you loved me, I wouldn't be going through this. And that was my prayer. I just wanted protection.
If you didn't know, a hoe's final form is a religious woman.
That's not true.
99% of people have no idea this opportunity exists. It's a new way to generate income on it.
This was also a really hard time because this is like straight out of a movie. The day that I decided that I was going to tell my mom that my grandfather was molesting me, we both decided to tell each other news. I'm like, Mom, I have to talk to you about something. And she was like, okay, great, because I need to talk to you about something too. I'm like, okay, fine, you go first. And she's like, I'm pregnant. At this time, I'm 8 years old. I thought that if I told my mom that my great-grandfather was molesting me, that she would be so devastated that she would lose the baby. I felt that it was my responsibility to not say anything and just take it like a champ until my mom gives birth. Every single night I cried myself to sleep. It was really hard to believe that no one knew since we lived together, and he would like masturbate in front of me like while we were eating dinner. I'm just like, how am I the only one that's seeing this? Like, you're telling me that my mom didn't see this, that my grandmother didn't see this. And there was actually one time that my grandmother did walk in on us, but I'm not even going to talk about that. Let's move on. He stops because I start fighting back. I realize that he's old. And after my brother is born, for like the next basically 4.5 years, my mom, I rarely see her. She worked 2 jobs. I saw her a little bit in the morning, and then she would get home at 11, and I was supposed to be in bed at the time. So my cousins would take care of me, who were teenagers.
Yo, and for the record, yo, reason why I ain't address the toucher, because he dead. He dead. He an old man, and I can't wait till the last toucher of that generation die off any old way. All of them old touchers, they dying off. So we can stop running with the narratives, like, cause us real dudes, the new dudes, just like how y'all new women, us new dudes, we don't do that. We ain't doing that. Nah, it ain't that serious. Nope. We got so much access. You know what I mean? You get why those men back in the days did that? They didn't have social media. They ain't have Instagram. If grandpa had Instagram back in the days, it'd be a whole different thing. You see how shit switched? You see how shit switched right? So we gotta stop running with this old ass narrative. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work, sis. That's not gonna work. But I get it. But you right. She right. That generation of old, the ones that sat in front of that barber shop, I had beef with them. Cause I slapped one of them, yo. Like me, I was always disrespectful to the nosy neighbor the nosy little old lady in the front, and that barbershop dude, the dude that said something slick and nasty to all the young girls that I was trying to smack. I was trying to mac too. I always had beef with that dude, so I know what she talking about.
Teenagers. And also my mom went out a lot, so my mom was out every single weekend, like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, sometimes Sunday. She would go out clubbing. I felt very
That's it. She did not protect you, and that's when the predator got you the most. That's when he got you the most. Now, if your mom's was around, he would have prayed her somewhere else. He'd have prayed somewhere else. But again, they always want to be on scene, guys. They never really want to become mothers. They forget that the baby don't go nowhere. You can't erase the baby. Like, they be wanting the theme, because they live in themes. They ultimately want to be a professional modern woman, bro. They don't understand that. So with that said, you can't live out a couple of those themes, but they get paid, they get incentivized to go through each theme. Notice how they get the child support, they get the alimony, they get paid to go through these themes that they don't really want. These women don't really want to be mothers. These women don't really want to be wives, but they'll take the check. Message.
very abandoned during that time. I would try to stay up all night, like praying that my mom was safe. Like I was worried that someone was going to take her, that someone was going to end up like abducting her, and that I would never see my mom again. Mind you, I'm 8 years old, 9 years old, begging my mom, please don't go out. Please stay home with us. Like, I just want to spend time with you. Like, I would never see her. I would never see her during the day. And then she would choose to go out at night. She always like chose men and like the club over us. Was she doing the best that she could? Yeah, like she was. But I felt so unimportant and I felt so like unloved, because it's like, why don't you want to spend time with me? Like, I didn't understand, you know? And now I understand that she was young. She had me when she was 19. So by the time that she was 25, you know, she wanted to go out. She wanted to have fun with her friends. And she had the help of my grandmother. And my grandmother never said no to her. My grandmother was such an alcahueta. So my mom just kind of did whatever she wanted.
Girl, your grandmother was a dummy, bro, because your grandpa was a grapist. Your grandpa was a grapist. If grandma was whopping, he wouldn't need to whop with you.
Taking care of my mom when she was hungover. Like, I didn't understand what being hungover meant, but I learned very soon that my mom would just come home and like be throwing up for like the next day. It sucked. It wasn't a good environment. And then my cousins like bringing boys to the house. At the age of 12, my mom informs me that I have to move in with my dad in Florida. Mind you, I'm not talking to my dad. My dad would call me every single day, just like he does now. And I would never want to talk to him. It was the landline. So my grandma would pick up the phone, may she rest in peace. And she's like, Bianca, tu papá. I'm like, no quiero hablar con él. Dile que estoy durmiendo. Dile que estoy en el baño. Dile que me estoy bañando. I would never want to talk to him. When my mom was like, oh yeah, you need to move in with your dad, I was like, what? So me and my brother were going to move in with my dad for a whole year, and I was so tight. But anyway, that was the best thing that could have happened, because I ended up encountering Christ for the first time. I got saved when I was 12 years old. I encountered the Spirit of God. I started speaking in tongues. People prophesied over my life. It's crazy because even years after, the same prophetic word was being said over my life. No one ever said a different prophetic word over my life. And so I know that God has me. And unfortunately, you know, it was only for a year. That year was the best year of my childhood. And I saw a different side of my dad. He had come to Jesus. He was really a different man. It wasn't perfect, but at least he changed. I moved back to Florida and we are living in a new apartment with this guy, my new stepfather. He was an interesting person. It was not easy living in that household. I'm now in high school. I'm not going to church. Basically, things just go back to how they were. Very bad, very traumatic. Everyone around me is already sexually active. I wasn't. I didn't do any of that. I kind of felt a little bit left out I was like curious about it, but I wasn't ready to do it. There was this guy who I was talking to. I was 15 and he was 21. I've already been molested. I have abandonment issues. I have self-worth issues, but I didn't know that I had self-worth issues. It still hadn't fully developed. I'm in soccer practice and he's like, oh, let me pick you up. He picks me up. He basically escorts me to a random place in the park and he rapes me. He gets on top of me and rapes me. He doesn't even kiss me. His private was playing handball against my...
Attention, single men, I've got a secret for you. I want to tell you something. It is 100
wall. He gets up, gets mad. He's like, oh, you scuffed my shoes. I realize when we're walking away, something's dripping down my leg. I've never done this, so I didn't know what to expect or what was happening. He's like, oh, that was you. You were just wet. 2 months later, I got suspended from school because I got drunk for school dance. So I'm hungover and I'm throwing up. Then the next day I throw up again. And then the day after that I throw up again. And then it's a week later and I'm throwing up in the morning. And I'm like, Mom, is it normal to have a hangover for a week? And she's like, no, Bianca. I had to go to a different school for my suspension. I told my friend, I'm like, girl, I need to go to the doctor because I don't know what's happening. So we go to the emergency room. They're like, you're pregnant. I was like, what? My world shattered into a million pieces because not only...
Yo. How many of y'all believe this story right here? So she PG off a grape. That's what she trying to sell us right here, guys. She told it, and the way she told it was the way she told, because she got suspended because she got caught effing in the school, bro. She got caught effing in the school, and whenever a chick get caught effing in the school, they always gonna make it like if the boy raped her. Yo.
You dirty bitch! Look what you've done to my peonies!
They're marigolds!
Good God, I think she's right. They are marigolds.
I may not know my flowers, but I know a bitch when I see one! You dirty...
Was this my first real encounter that didn't involve incest? But I didn't ask for it. It was assault, and he left me with a child. I start like reviewing my options. I'm 15 years old. Like my mom was gonna kill me. Like I need to get an abortion. It so happens that my insurance doesn't cover abortions. So now I'm looking for $500 so I can get an abortion. My mom ends up finding out that I'm pregnant because I tell my cousin and then my cousin tells my mom. And she looks at me and she's like, you're not my little girl anymore. Walks away and takes me to get an abortion like 2 days later. We don't talk about it. She didn't ask me how I'm doing, nothing. This is the day that I got home from the abortion. And I'm crying because I just killed my child. Like, I didn't want this child, but I killed my child. During that time, I also became suicidal. And I started drinking and smoking weed. Oh, and my dad didn't know about the abortion. So there was a lot of things that happened in my life that my mom just would not tell my dad about. I became addicted to different pills. I'm crying out for help. Eventually, we go there.
You see, that's another nugget right there. You see how the moms, your baby mother, will link with your daughter and keep some real wicked shit from you. Keep some real wicked shit that you know you gotta interject and pray and pray and pray and bring the knowledge and bring the wisdom to. But they will be harboring some wicked shit. You know what I mean? Guys, you got to be careful out here. You heard that? She tried to slide that shit in. No, I catch everything. I'll be listening. I'm gonna play that back. Cause that's key, yo. They hid that shit from their father.
At that time, I also became suicidal. And I started drinking and smoking weed. Oh, and my dad didn't know about the abortion. So there was a lot of things that happened in my life that my mom just would not tell my dad about. I become addicted to different pills. I'm crying out for help. Eventually, we go to therapy, but
and that's a deep-seated root. That's a deep-rooted seed of hatred towards man. Cause if you got to lie, that's how the mother teach the daughter how to lie to the kid. And that's in the Bible too. Remember. Abraham's kids. How Abraham wife. You know what I mean? Bog the fuck out. Come on, guys. Jacob and Isaac, guys. The looks. That's what it get them all of the time. The looks. But these mothers is funny style, boy. You got to be on their back. If you in a relationship, you got your kid and your baby moms, and your kid is a daughter, you got to be in everything. You can't be caught slipping, bro. You can't. You better be everything. You better keep that relationship with your child, bro. Build a relationship with your child. They got their separate relationship. You better build you a separate relationship with your child. If you know what I know.
It's not therapy for me. I never had my own sessions. Both my stepfather and my mother were in the sessions with me. And my stepfather found a way to make it all about him. I never got the help that I needed. I think that a pivotal point in my life where it comes to self-worth is when I had my first real boyfriend. I was 16 and he was 21. He was in college and I was a junior in high school. He told me that his ex-girlfriend had cheated on him. He was always calling me a hoe. We would go places, and if a guy looked at me, he would get mad. He had a car. He would leave me stranded. I guess it was my first toxic relationship. I wasn't ready for those mind games. I felt like I was always getting in trouble. He said that he wanted to marry me.
Ma'am. Bianca is your name. Bianca. Your first toxic relationship was the one with you, your moms, and your dad. That was your first toxic relationship right there, right? Come on now. Come on, stop blaming people for stuff and blame the right. If you're going to blame somebody, blame them. Those are the people you got to chalk this one up to. You got to sit down with your mother and your daddy, and you got to just, yo, write it, put it in the letter. Put it in a letter and mail it to them. But stop blaming other folks, yo.
He had no issue not using protection with me, but he was like, I'm never going to go down on you. You do not deserve me going down on you. I would never go down on you. I just grew up thinking the worst about myself, really. Later on that year, I ran away from home. And then I moved in with my dad in Florida.
Wait, what the fuck did I miss? Am I bugging? What the fuck did I miss right there, yo? Let me shut up and just play this last minute. I'm gonna just play the last minute. But what did I miss?
And I started drinking and smoking weed. Oh, and my dad didn't know about the abortion. So there was a lot of things that happened in my life that my mom just would not tell my dad about. I become addicted to different pills. I'm crying out for help. Eventually we go to therapy, but it's not therapy for me. I never had my own sessions. Both my stepfather and my mother were in the sessions with me. And my stepfather found a way to make it all about him. I never got the help that I needed. I think that a pivotal point in my life where it comes to self-worth is when I had my first real boyfriend. I was 16 and he was 21. He was in college and I was a junior in high school. He told me that his ex-girlfriend had cheated on him. He was always calling me a hoe. We would go places, and if a guy looked at me, he would get mad. He had a car. He would leave me stranded. I guess it was my first toxic relationship. I wasn't ready for those mind games. I felt like I was always getting in trouble. He said that he wanted to marry me. He had no issue not using protection with me, but he was like, I'm never going to go down on you. You do not deserve me going down on you. I would never go down on you. I just grew up thinking the worst about.
Yo, this that stuff that I be talking about all of the time, yo. Straight fool, yo. Straight foolish, yo. Man, yo. Man, but don't go nowhere, guys. Don't go nowhere again. Because we're going to see how this whole play out. This play out because I told you, these women will sleep with anything as long as they got some money, yo. They'll sleep with anything as long as they got some money. So, you know what I mean? This how it look. This how it look, guys.
You don't even know what happened.
Turn around.
Stop.
On October 16th, 2023, Officers responded to a disturbance involving a woman who reportedly vandalized a man's home because he refused to give her money after their one-night stand.
All right, so just start from the beginning. What happened?
Okay, so I picked the young lady up last night. We had a night out last night. So this morning we wake up. I'm thinking I'm finna take her home. We get into it about the bathroom. She cursing me out. She finna get out my shit.
What was the issue with the bathroom?
Yeah, she was just in the bathroom for forever.
Oh, okay.
And I was letting her know I gotta use the bathroom.
Okay, all right, got it.
So it just went from there.
Sure.
Like, she just started cursing me out. I need to get out your shit. I'm finna get the out your shit. This, that, and the third. I'm not finna ride with you. You finna give me some money to get the around here. So I'm not giving you shit.
Yeah.
You get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. But still, generally, I go to my car to let her, come on, let's go. I'm finna take you home. I ain't going nowhere with you. You finna give me some money. I'm finna break all your windows out this shit. And I'm finna whoop your ass. This, that, and the third. So I back up. You not finna go? You finna do what? That's when I call you guys. And to separate, I just left the property because I didn't want nothing to come back and say I did this and did that. I got my cameras. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I just wanted to separate myself from that.
So you left your apartment. She was still there.
Outside. Yes,
outside
sir.
the apartment.
Yes, sir.
All right. And then what happened?
So, like I said, I left you guys. I left, and she was standing like where you seen her standing there.
Yep.
And I came up here. So the guy on the phone, the officer,
The dispatcher, yep.
asked me, what do I want to meet you guys at? I didn't want to be right there. I just came here because I was already up this.
Yeah, you didn't want the confrontation.
Right. So I just came here to have you
did
guys
the right thing.
here. So as I was sitting here waiting for you guys, I seen her coming up the tracks. That's when I called you guys again because I was like,
blue jeans.
This chick had blue pants, green jacket, orange shirt.
No. All right, keep going.
Yeah, so I seen her walking up the tracks because on my video, she walked the opposite way to the main road. She walked back towards the tracks. But like I said, when I seen her walking up the tracks, I immediately called you guys. And that's when, probably 10 minutes, that's when you guys pulled up 10 minutes later. Probably, like I say, she walked right through here.
Okay.
If they got cameras here, she walked right through here, selling me out to come to her house, and this, that, and the third.
What happened at your house to make you call us again?
I called you guys when I was here.
Yeah.
I seen her here.
Right, but you called back because you saw her coming?
I just seen her coming, and I didn't know what was happening.
Okay.
I didn't know she was by her.
What made you check your cameras at your house?
Because I left her there.
Okay. So what did you see on your cameras?
I seen that she broke my window with 2 rocks.
Okay.
I only seen one break. When I seen her watch it with you guys, I seen her break 2 windows.
Okay. How much do you think the windows are going to be to replace
About
it?
$2,500.
Okay. And do you want to press charges?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. All right. At this point in time, do you think there's anything else you need to add to your statement?
No, sir. I mean, that's pretty much it. She vandalized. She took my property up like that.
And are you able to identify her?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. It is.
I'm loving him, bro. That's how you got it. You got a hashtag snitch on the chick. You got to. I'm loving him, yo. He accurate. He said, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Put her address up too for where I picked her up from.
It is approximately 9:53 a.m. That concludes this interview.
While on patrol, officers spotted a woman matching the victim's description. As soon as the officer exited the vehicle, the suspect immediately fled.
Taser. Taser. Taser.
She's running for stuff on us.
Taser, please.
Man, stop right there. I'm going to tase you. Stop right there. I'm going to tase you.
Looking like a wild Keisha. Look at that. Yep, that's the description. Look at the hair. Look at that.
I got it.
Look at that hair. Yep. Look at the eyelashes. Yep, that's the description. This is our modern criminal. This is our modern criminal right here. Yep.
Give me a second.
All right, you ain't got to cuff me because you don't even know what happened.
Turn around.
Bro, help!
Yo, officer, in my professional opinion, you should tase her. This is a little red. So she will deck you, sir. She will super kick you, roundhouse, all of that. Tase her now, bro. This a little rib. They don't play. Little ribs, y'all seen it? Y'all know. We ain't see a punk little rib yet. Now them big ones, except for the giant, except for Andrea the giant. She was supernatural, boy. But with the exception of her, the big ones be punks, boy.
You don't know what happened. Don't just throw me on the floor, so I'm standing up.
Stop.
I'm talking to you, though. I'm standing up.
What is it? Grab her right there. Let's put her in.
Yo!
On the left, on the left.
Bro. All right, don't put me in, y'all. Let me talk to y'all. Y'all let me talk to me first. Y'all don't supposed to put me in here. Y'all didn't talk to me first. Okay, let me just talk. Let me just talk.
We have to go through steps first, so give us a second.
Okay? All right, y'all already got me. That hurt so bad. You ain't even on my ankle.
They starting to look like animals from the back, yo. Look, she look like a little animal from the back.
I mean, my wrist. That's my meat.
Yeah, I'll do that, son. I got it. Your bra on? No?
Yeah.
Got it. Yep.
Bro, is that really a woman? Is that a girl, or is that really a girl though? Is that really a girl? Cause I don't see no I don't see no features of a female. I've yet to see the feature for like. Look again, guys. What the hell was going on?
What?
We just keep an eye.
No, she like started speed walking and then started. Oh, there's a green shirt.
Hey, you got it. You got it.
Let me call my people. I'm not even from down.
We know you're not from here.
Fucking bitch ass nigga.
Is this the car you're in?
Yeah.
Okay. The AC on.
Officers then conducted a show-up with the victim to confirm if she was the perpetrator.
Miss, I need you to come out.
Come on out, you little animal. They're like they're opening the animal cage. Come on out, animal. Yeah, that's her.
How certain are you?
I'm 100%, 1,000%.
Okay.
That's her. She had a green shirt on earlier, but that's her for sure.
Bro, Tony sits down for.
Okay. Come on. Let's go back in the car. Go ahead, sit down.
There's a hidden 5-minute credit trick that millions of Americans are using to send their scores soaring.
Officers then transported the suspect to the station, where she was read her Miranda rights. She chose to speak and provided her version of events.
How are you? I'm Officer Beasley. I'm the investigating officer. Do you want to sit up here so I can talk to you for a minute? Please. You need to use the bathroom or anything? You need some water? Okay. All right, I'm going to read you your rights first, okay? It says, I'm required to warn you before you make any statement that you have the following constitutional rights. Number one, you have the right to remain silent, not answer any questions. Do you understand that? You have the right to the presence of a lawyer of your choice before you make any statement and during any questions. Do you understand that? If you cannot afford a lawyer, you're entitled to the presence of a court-appointed lawyer before you make any statement and during any questioning. Do you understand that? Any statement can and may be used against you in the court of law. Do you understand that? Okay. Any statement you make must be freely and voluntarily given. Do you understand that? Number 6, if at any time during the interview you do not wish to answer any questions, you are privileged to remain silent. Do you understand that? And lastly, I can make no threats or promises to induce you to make a statement. This must be at your own free will. Do you understand that? All right, so what's going on? Won't give you money. How much money do you owe you? Okay. So you threw rocks through his windows? Huh? Just because you're upset that he didn't take you home or give you your money? Why didn't you just talk to us instead of running from him?
Because y'all already know what's up. Y'all already seen me on that shit, on that computer, what's up.
I know, but running catches another charge.
Y'all
Yeah.
finna give me another charge anyways.
No, I was just gonna charge you with the windows. That was it.
Right. I'm still getting charged.
Yeah.
So either way.
You had to take your chance, huh?
So how long for this to be here?
I'm almost done. I just had to come speak with you, add it to my report, and that was it. You do, just so you're aware, you have a warrant as well, out of Broward.
That's why I left y'all house.
I hear you. All right. You need new water? You sure? If you need anything, just knock on the door and I'll get it for you. Should be another maybe 10, 15 minutes. We'll be out of here. All right. Okay. All right. Oh, real quick. Why'd you change your shirt too?
Because I seen his ass looking for me.
Who? The officer? Huh?
She bold. She just gave y'all her whole blueprint right there. Like, man, she a bold one. I told you, Lil Rib crazy, boy. Lil Rib crazy. She said, that's why she ran, because I had a warrant. That's why I changed my shirt, because I know you looking for me. Duh, dummy.
All right. I guess I respect the effort. All right, Miss Hurst, just give me a minute, okay?
She was charged with criminal mischief and resisting an officer. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
Man, yet again, yet another great class, guys. Another great class. Keep in mind, guys, you are responsible for whatever you stick your PP in. If you want your PP to be healthy, you gonna protect it. You gonna be careful, guys. Gotta remember, guys. You see the way these stores is set up? These stores is set up with security cameras. They got ground people on the ground, secret shoppers. You know what I mean? They got them little machines in front of the stores. So you ain't just going up in there doing whatever you want to do. Stores, functioning stores, thriving stores that win. Take your temple, right? Don't lose me. Don't miss the message. Your temple got to be one of these stores. And you see how these stores don't allow you to go in there and steal from them. They don't allow you to take stuff out of there and run off and drop stuff and do whatever you want to do in their store. They got measures, they got standards, they got boundaries. And that come with self-improvement. When you start doing self-improvement, when you start pouring into self, you start setting boundaries and standards, you start having self-worth. So you ain't when a person have self-worth, they ain't finna let nobody, not even their mama, do what they gonna do to them. Like, no. You got boundaries now. So that's what it's gonna be about, guys. Pouring into self. You got to pour into yourself, guys. All right, we all gonna make mistakes. Ain't nobody perfect. But if you ain't learning from the mistakes now, you a dummy, man. Love y'all, man. Y'all wrap up, strap up, drink responsibly. Do not play with your life, y'all. I see y'all tomorrow, man.